Chief Mrs. Antonia Remilekundari, nee Darosha da Costa, the Queen of Bethel, who died recently at the age of 78 years, would have loved to have her around much longer. Indeed, the sad occurrence must have come to them as a surprise. However, as people who were properly put in the way of the Lord by their late mother, they can only take solace and consolation in the fact that their mother lived a very fulfilled and accomplished life with enduring legacies of integrity, love, and compassion towards mankind. The task before the children of Mrs. Antonia Remilekundari is to endeavor to carry on with the lofty ideals which endeared her to everyone and earned her the affectionate nickname, the mother of all. One of Mama's children, Yeye Bolanle Dari, the founder and proprietress of the Mother Theresa Children's Home Abuja, a split image of her mother, has taken after her philanthropic disposition. Yeye Bolanle Dari, who has her own biological children, among them university graduates, has in the last 1 decade or so single-handedly taken up the role of a mother to many motherless children with the assistance of kind-hearted Nigerians. Over the years, the children have been nurtured to be useful members of the society. The funeral service to bid Madam Remilekun Antonia Dari, known as Queen of Bethel, a final farewell, was held at the African Church Bethel Buries Memorial Church, Surulere, Lagos. The church service formally swung into motion with the rendition of the processional hymn. Some verses of the Bible were taken from the book of Ecclesiastical chapter 3. Before delivering the homily, the officiating minister at the service first prayed for the children of the deceased and everyone. In the sermon, the man of God emphasized that in the last 20 years, in which it has pleased God to make him the chief shepherd of the African Church Bethel Buries Memorial Church, Surulere, Lagos, he can confirm that Madam Remilekun Antonia Dari was one of those who did not count the costs or waver in the discharge of all obligations that have had to do with moving the church and evangelism forward. The officiating minister urged his children and all those present at the service to emulate the Christian values and virtues which Mama held very dearly all her life.
Wherever you find yourself, let the fear of God fill your heart. In the church of God, let us fear God. In Nigeria, let us fear God. Mama has given us a good example. She has lived an exemplary life for us to follow. And that is what you are seeing in the children of Mama.
There were special prayers for the deceased. This is followed by a special rendition by the choir for Mama. And the Thanksgiving session. Here, the children of Mama, family members, and other well-wishers dance to thank God for her life. Chief Mrs. Antonia Oluwaremilekun Dari was born into the illustrious Da Costa family. Her mother was the first daughter of the popular Brazilian merchant Cândido da Rocha of the Brazilian quarters in the Kakawa area of Lagos. She lost her parents when she was a toddler. She had to be raised by her auntie. Madam Antonia Oluwaremilekun Dari began her primary education at the St. Matthias Convent School and Mount Carmel Secondary School in Lagos. Being an optician by training, Madam Antonia Oluwaremilekun Dari worked as an ophthalmology technician at the Adebowale Opticals in Tinubu, Lagos. She was married to Mr. John Akinwumi Dari, a police officer from Ifewara in Osun State of Nigeria. By virtue of the nature of the husband's work as a police officer, she and her husband at various times lived in different parts of Nigeria, like Ibadan, Enugu, Ilorin, and Lagos. Mama Antonia Oluwaremilekun Dari was survived by 5 children and many grandchildren. The remains of Chief Mrs. Antonia Remilekun Dari, which were taken round the streets of Lagos amidst singing and dancing, were finally laid to rest at the Bolton Garden Cemetery, Ikoyi, Lagos. This is after a solemn service at her graveside with all her children by her side, and with the dust rites by the children and some grandchildren. Mama's remains were finally interred. The social aspect of the burial of Madam Antonia Remilekun Dari, which was a reception, took place at the Grandeur Events Center in Ikeja, Lagos. It was obvious from the very captivating decoration of the venue, which bore the color code prescribed for the event, that the children and the grandchildren of Madam Antonia Remilekun Dari had gone all out to give their loving mom and grandmom a most memorable send-forth. Perhaps the icing on the cake was having Yinka Ayefele, the originator of the fast-tempo gospel juju music rhythm, to perform for the Lagos audience, where there seems to be an insatiable hunger for this kind of music. The Abuja, Lagos, Ibadan, Kaduna, and Port Harcourt axis of Nigeria's social establishment came all out in their numbers to rally a huge support for the children of Mama Antonia Remilekun Dari, especially Yeye Bola Dari, of importance of Nigeria's life. The children and grandchildren of Mama Remilekun Dari engaged the audience with a series of special presentations in honor of their dear mom and grandmom.
I'm talking about my mother. More than a ruby. A jewel, a virtuous woman. very understanding, always ready to help, not only before the rich, but also those around her. The song has summarized it. Iya ni wúrà. My mom was one. Thank you very much.
Of course, it all came down with Yinka Ayefele taking complete control with a marathon dosage of his fast tempo gospel juju music rhythm, and the guests took turns to dance to it. May God grant Chief Mrs. Antonia Remilekun Dari eternal rest in his bosom.
Oh,